talk about friends, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that come with friendships. Welcome to the show, and on today's show, my good friend Kolo Felo is joining me, and we are going to chat about the cornerstone of life. And that is friendships.
Yeah, cornerstone of our lives.
Exactly, because over the years, there's been multiple shows on Friends, like Friends, the classic Sex and the City, Dawson's Creek,
in general.
just like sitcoms in general that highlight friendships, and I think we all are living those sitcoms in our own personal lives, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think they don't show the ugly.
They did so well because people could relate.
Exactly. But then also the other part is like when your friendships, go through storms. And those are the things like we sometimes, because like some people are equipped, but not all of us are equipped to weather those storms. And I think we've had our fair share.
You know what's the funniest thing that I always exchange with my friends? Like, our parents always say, like, don't rate friendships. Friendships
you don't need
nothing.
friends.
You don't need friends. Will take you nowhere. Like, damn, who broke you? We always think like our parents are broken. They don't have friends because they are not good friends themselves.
That's true, and that's why I always, because my dad is that person as well. Because my mom, I think we share the same personality, and she has the world's friends, and but my dad was always like, oh, don't count on friends. You don't need them. I'm like, but
why?
There's such like genuine, real connections there, and friends that turn into family. And yes, like family, friends go through storms as well, and it's just how you weather that storm. Because Kolo and I had a little storm of our own.
we were in individual storms.
Yes.
And then when you bring those together,
it's just and I want to speak about that experience, just so that someone can, if they're going through that with their friend, they are able to, relate to them. Maybe it's not such a bad thing, because I know I definitely overreacted, and just because I was in my
it was gonna happen. I've had like stumbling blocks with all my friendships, and I can't attribute it to me or it's just life. And I've managed to move on with some friends, and some were left behind. I'm grateful for all of them, the ones that have been left behind and the ones that I've moved on with.
Yes.
I'm more grateful to the ones I have moved on with, because for obvious reasons. But from my personal experience, I feel like friendship heartbreak was the worst for me, more than like boys. I promise you, I felt my heart ache when I had friendship, probably like 2 or 3 friendship, including ours, because we've been so close. And we always used to spend a lot of, even when you moved far away, I would be at Dane's
Kolo was like the only friend because everybody would be like, oh, you live far, but Kolo was there.
I was driving there. I was like, I can't imagine my week. Like, I will not finish this week without going to Dane's house. But I think at that time, and we had this chat recently, I think I focused too much on romantic relationships. I just think I needed to enjoy my 20s, and I was just always in relationships. Constantly with a man. Like, there's no need. Like, take a break, girl. And so all my experiences gravitated around those romantic relationships. So even my friend, and that also trickled into my friendships. So obviously now I'm always talking about my man or my ex or my this. And at some stage, some people don't want, not that they don't want to hear that, but like there's bigger things going on, and not even bigger, just other things going on. And I think I was so wrapped up in my own thing, and
yes.
I probably didn't look outside and see that this friend needs this from me, this friend needs that, and I think that's what happened to us. I think that's what I don't think at the time I was open to. I think I was a taker. I was just taking energy. Like, oh my gosh, listen to my heartbreaker. Yeah. How could you do this? Pledge allegiance to me. Like, nobody needs to pleasure. Calm down, girl.
Yes.
Calm
Yeah, I know.
the hell down.
You know, and I want to echo on that. It's not that you weren't paying attention. Maybe you weren't paying enough attention, but you definitely were the friend that we could always call on, and you'd be there. But obviously, at the time, your relationships were consuming you so much that that's really what you wanted to share all the time. But like outside of that, you very solid friend. So it's,
I wish I hadn't. I wish I
But you know what? It happens, and it's an experience that you can look back and be like, okay, you know, the ones who are still with me and obviously understand and understood what you were going through, like for me, because I know when our friendship took a little bit of a break and we had our blowout, I definitely had to, you know, weigh everything, and I said to myself, Kolo, this is like that. Her relationships, yes, she was struggling in them and she needed to share, but and obviously there came a point where I could not support her anymore.
Yeah, I lost. I think, and it was a particular time in my life, and I lost. I think in those 3 years, I lost a lot of my very close friends, and not a lot, but like 1 or 2 of my very close, and like Dane, I think was like the remaining one. And I was like, Dane, you too? I'm like, damn, after I told you about them hoes.
And I felt so bad because I'm like, I was with you on those experiences with the other friends, and here I am.
I was like, how could you? I wanted to be like, you have to come back. Stop this nonsense.
Snap out of it.
Come back. Stop. And like, I was like, should I try? And I remember Dane was so mean. Dane was like, bye, friend. I was like, you? It's like, bye. Yeah, have a good life. Like, you used our lines on me. I was like, these are the lines we laugh about. And I'm like, you're using them on me. Yeah, you're like, good luck, all the best on your future endeavor. I don't want luck.
Like I want you.
Exactly. Stop this nonsense. I'm like, but I had too much pride. I'm like, hell no. He's being mean to me. He must apologize. But I was like, I never thought. But I didn't have any bad, because I saw truth in what you were saying. I just felt like you said it in frustration. It's like there's probably a better way of saying it. But also I need to take a step back and also like reassess my life as well. So I'm grateful for that break. I wish I did a lot of introspection on. So it's like, it can't be that I'm the common denominator right now.
No.
And I know you're not a malicious person, so something happened, and I need to address that.
Something in my eye?
No, I can't see it.
Okay, it just felt like weird. Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I'm glad that you took the time, you know, because I also took the time to obviously evaluate, and prior to that, you had bought me the most amazing book, The Untethered Soul.
I haven't finished reading.
And that was the book that brought me back to our friendship, when I realized that was so silly of me. And yes, the frustration, you know, there was definitely a better way to articulate myself.
But you can't when you're frustrated. That takes a deeper level of maturity.
Exactly, and I was definitely not.
We weren't there. Right now we can say things, but then I would have also been like,
Exactly, yes, you know, and there are definitely mature ways to handle things, but we got it out there, we spoke about it, and even when we made up again, I was like, I'm coming to your house.
So excited.
So we were excited to see each other.
I was just like, when you reached out, I was like, yes! I saw your message. Hey, cool. I'm like, yes. Whatever you're saying, yes. Come back to me. Stop your nonsense.
I was so afraid because I had sent my apology, because I thought about it for a long time, and then I sent my apology, and we were meeting up, and then when we met up, it was like all time. Like, oh shit, when are we gonna actually just like face to face be like, okay, you know what, it happened. And then like later in the evening, Kola's like, you know what, friend, like, you know, that happened.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I think some friendships, we didn't have deep-seated issues.
Yes.
We did not have that.
And I think that's for me, because I always try and bring that in my friendships. I love my friends to be upfront with me. Another friend of mine, we share this whole thing that we are not each other's keepers. So it's never whatever I do that does not include you, it's never personal because I will never be malicious to you. I'm never going to speak behind your back, but I cannot, or I'm not your keeper and you're not my keeper, and we respect each other and we have a great relationship, you know, just based off that value. So yes.
Agreed.
So then I don't know. I don't want to speak about
particular people,
but I just want to speak about particular experiences because then when we got back together, because I had never lost a friend.
Damn. Attack me.
No. And my one friend, the one who we say we're not each other's keepers, she always says to me, I hope this experience now teaches you that not everyone loves you. Because you know that.
Yeah, and that's Dane's favorite line. Everybody loves me and I'm fabulous. And it's true. And I'm like, damn right. That is true. Everybody loves you and you're fabulous.
But then a friend just like cut me out. I was like, what? What happened? What did I do?
I knew that I hadn't cut you out. I hadn't though.
No, yeah.
Because you know me, I'm very like when we were done talking and I cut you out of like petty things like social media, things like that. I don't want to see your presence. Like, we are done.
Yes.
And I didn't do that. And that's when I knew. I was like, maybe someday we'll talk.
Yeah, because
I just left that door open. I'm like, someday we'll.
Yeah, because
talk.
Definitely, like we said earlier on, our friendship was not, anything. There was nothing that malicious that happened. I was not speaking.
I thought you hated me. I'm like, well, I don't hate him. Mm-hmm. That was the first time when I knew. I was like, I'm growing up, clearly. I'm leaving this door open and maybe someday he'll talk to me.
Yes.
But I was like, he clearly hates me. I was like, why does he hate me?
No, I don't hate my friends.
I know you do.
Yeah, and
it felt like
it. And obviously, yes, it does. Yes, in that moment, it's like, really? What? So everything was a lie?
Yeah, because especially, I think by the time we had our tiff, I had already now had deep-seated issues with friendships now. Mm-hmm. And I felt like, and I was at a point where I felt like my friends weren't being upfront with me. And all I do is give. I'm upfront, I'm forthcoming, I give.
Yes.
I'm honest. And I was like, all the two friendships I had lost, they themselves had deep-seated issues that they weren't discussing with me. And they were discussing with everybody else, their close friends.
And that's when it becomes very dangerous.
So one of my best friends, I found out a little bit later, some months later, after she broke up with me. Like, she sent me a message and she was like,
I'm done, we're coming back.
She was like, because I was like, dude, you've been acting weird, what's going on? She's like, I just have an uncomfortable feeling about you. I was like, and I remember when I tabled it up for I'm like, guys, two friends, and I'm like, is there something that I'm not seeing? Do you want to tell me? And I remember another good friend of mine was just telling me, okay, so this is my thing, this is my assessment of you, but it has nothing to do with, I just think that friend she's not your friend.
Yeah, no, clearly.
But otherwise we can't keep going through life, doing peer reviews. Like,
I remember. Yeah. I remember when you told me that, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, and I think I even asked you, I was like, friend, I kept asking for peer reviews after that. Like, what do you think about me? Am I this? Am I that? Do you feel uncomfortable around me?
But you know what? Because your friendship, like that, when you break up with a friend, especially someone you love so dearly and the friendship you value, you do tend to go to other friends and ask them, is there a blind spot? Maybe can you highlight it so that I can do better? Because I can relate to that.
But when I was doing those peer reviews, people had so many, that's when I saw like my friendships are so different. So I can't, what you hate, another friend really loves. Exactly. So everything was just contradiction. I was like, listen, this girl just needed to tell me. And we grew up together.
That's something I have to
and she was family, she was more, you know.
I know.
I go anywhere, she's there.
That's how I met her, obviously, because
exactly.
all the events.
And our worlds intertwined.
Yes.
All my friends are. And that's so I was like, someone like that you expect to tell you what's going on, you know?
Because it's like a sister.
And I just figured, I'm like, she just hates my relationship, that toxic relationship I was in. But why is it her? And why is she taking it to heart? Whereas all of my friends can just say, we don't enjoy this. This is not the best version of you, but we love you.
Exactly.
And I really think if someone is in... Obviously, people can leave. Like,
it's fine.
That's fine. But there's just some people who... I believe when, let's say, your friend is in a either toxic relationship or even an abusive one, I think that's when they need love more.
Oh, yes.
Like, they don't see it. They'll be like, friend, stop interfering in my relationship. You're like, oh, it's crazy. But you need me more then. And at the time when that friend was breaking up with me, I was breaking up with that boyfriend. But she wouldn't know because she had already told me not to tell her about my relationship. I was like, she had already, and I was like, I can't tell you that we're actually breaking up. And we did. Like I just let go of everything that I did not want in my life then.
Yes.
And it just so happened, so many tragedies, like I lost my brother, lost my job, all of these things, and I'm like, wow, I could do with like a hug and like a good friend right now. And like my life has changed so much in a space of like 2-3 months.
And it's really that friend that you loved so dearly, and it's sad to say that was the friend you wanted the most.
Yeah, I was like,
okay, friend.
Like damn, my world is falling apart. Damn. I'm like, okay. But what that taught me, The Defining Decade, that book. There's a chapter that speaks about borrowing an ego.
Okay, I haven't got to that part.
Yeah, I read it twice. And she speaks about one of her clients is constantly calling her mom, constantly being in therapy. Like she can't deal with life's issues. She can't tackle life on her own. Something happens, she has to call someone. She was like, you're borrowing an ego. You never sit in your feelings. You never tackle things. You don't even know how to feel. And when I found my current therapist, amazing. She's amazing. And I could not, like, she made me, I didn't even know this. She was like, your blind spot is that you don't feel. You don't feel. That's why you're always busy. You're always tired. You're always this. You have 3 events in a day. You have... You know.
I know.
Always busy, always this. And she's like, because you don't want to feel. People think you move on fast, you have a boyfriend next week, you have this, but it's because you haven't felt that relationship. You haven't felt the impact of this and that and that. And I was like, I don't know. And then obviously I moved out, I lived alone, been living alone for 2 years, and that's when I saw, I'm like, oof, tackling loneliness, this old feelings. I'm like, where are these things coming from? And then I see that when you start like doing reflections and introspections, you start seeing that, oh, actually that friendship was probably not a good idea. And I was like, I never got to experience, I never got to fully like get to know and love my other friends. And now I can't imagine, like now there's no best friend, there's no hierarchy. I had a whole hierarchy, now there's nothing. It's just I have such a good friendship base, and they all have amazing qualities that I can individually appreciate. There's no, hi guys, please meet Dane. I put Dane above all of you.
I think it's also when you get older, that's when you realize there's no need for hierarchies, because like you mentioned earlier on, we experience our friends differently, and there's different qualities of friends that we appreciate. We go to friends for certain things, you know, and when there's a hierarchy, it's like, so these 5 people are like your everything, so you can go to them for everything. Really?
You can't. You really can't. And things will always be biased at the top of that food chain. You're just like, things are biased. You can't view things in an objective manner.
True, yes.
And besides that, I realized like some people really loved me and were there, and I didn't notice. Like I was like, and my mom would point out certain friendships, like this person is actually, and I'm like, that's true, Mama. I just never saw that.
Yeah, wow. And you were the friend, and your mother's an outsider. It's just your mom.
Exactly, because I would tell her, and I'm going to this one's mom's doing this one, and you start seeing people's families who also adopt you, and you're like, I've actually been around. I just haven't been present emotionally, and like this friend and her family are like in love with me, and I didn't even know, and they do anything for me, and you're like, oof, damn, people have been loving me way before, and I didn't know. I just felt unloved outside of that one friendship.
It was like the domino effect for other stuff.
100%. And then I had. No, I'm talking a lot.
I love it because we got you. Because like, friend, you're gonna say everything. I'm like, okay.
I was like, you talk, I'll answer.
And I'm just listening. I love it.
But now I'm like, hey. There was one particular friendship, another close one, another one in the house.
Another one
at the top of the food chain. That was also like family. And that one, I was like, this family, you don't, like, there's no ending to this friendship. Where are you going?
Yeah.
You're my sister. And I think we went through breakups around the same time. But then around that time, same time when my life was falling, it was actually two friends around that same. But the one was, I just felt like, she, I don't know if you've had this thing where you always feel like you're always doing this friend or this particular person wrong. No matter what you do, they always feel like shortchanged by you.
Yes.
And I was just like, I don't know how to make that better.
Yeah, so you asked this friend like, what?
I don't feel the same way you're feeling. I feel like I love you so much, and I'm giving you the best that I think I'm going to. Exactly. So whenever you complain, I don't get it. You're like, you don't call me enough. I'm like, I only call you. You're the only friend whose call I answer while I'm with my man chilling. Like, you're the only friend. Like,
because you're on top of the food chain, bitch, and
exactly.
You don't know it.
And also, like, even my relationship, they'd complain like, you're always on the phone with this girl. You always, like, you prioritize this girl. And I was like, how crazy that. So then my then boyfriend then was like, that is so crazy that you are always with this person. And she just thought I change when I'm in a relationship. I'm this. I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. And she just went silent one day, and I was like,
it's the silence. The silence. Ooh, it's the silence
for me. I was like, you know what? I don't have to hurt you. I don't have to feel like, I don't always have to feel guilty, and you don't have to feel a certain way. I can stop hurting you. And that's it. Like, I hope you find friends that pay as much attention as you want, because I clearly don't. And also, things like that don't accommodate my personality as well. I don't like being on the phone for long. I don't like texting. I don't enjoy phone activity. I don't like being in two worlds. It feels like I'm in two worlds.
Yes.
I have to live my life and be on the phone.
Yeah, it's taxing.
The extreme version of me is my sister, who just goes like off. She's not interested. She's even happy with one friend.
I envy those people. Like, you know what? Not the friendship, like how you could just like go off your phone and not care for it. Like, I am focusing. My attention is even me.
My sister will tell you, I was like, how do you keep your one friend? She's like, she just knows that sometimes I don't like people.
She understands the assignment.
It's like, what a good friend you have.
Yeah.
And it's literally just one friend. My sister can do a whole big thing and just invite one person. Whereas some of us will struggle with the guest list. But either way, I just realized that friendship didn't accommodate my growing self.
Yes.
Who also wants to be, not to be on the phone, not to see people, to be alone. I never had time alone, and when I finally started finding time alone, it's a problem for some people. Like,
and that's what I don't get. It's that going back to our friends are not our keepers, so we need to allow them to also grow in their own lives, because we are not there all the time and they're not there all the time with us, because there's certain individual growth that happens that you need the space for. So you cannot hold your friend accountable and be like, oh, but you're now different because you're in a relationship. Now you live on your own, you're different. Yes, I'm different because I'm in a different environment. Of course, can you allow me to be?
I feel like we need to grow together. If we're not, then And you also need to embrace just differences. I saw this viral tweet that's been going around where they said, would you date yourself? And somebody was like, I'd be outside with a boombox in the rain, and everyone keeps reposting that. I'm like, nah, like I'm a treat, I'm amazing, but like I don't want me. Like I don't want, like I do want me, but I don't want another version. I mean the same person, like the same me. I don't want to date me.
Yep, nope. Nobody wants it. People people were going on that thing because people.
It would be a personality clash.
Of course.
I'm not interested in having another over analytic person. Like I don't want us to sit together and overanalyze everything.
Because we're still enjoying that. We're still enjoying the relationship.
Exactly.
We need to balance things out.
And you have your days when you want to be, and when you're down and you know that you have no reason to be down. And you're just like, everybody hates me. And now it's the two of you doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be a very good balance. You need to complement each other, but you don't need to be the same person.
No, 100%. And just like complimenting each other in friendships as well, and it's not like in going just because I want to, wrap it up and being...
Sorry.
No, with our parents, because when I was also going through a friendship breakup, I think, or I was just like, I don't know what that was, but I'll call it a friendship breakup. And I was also going through that. My dad was right. I don't need friends. But then I think of the other great friends I have, and I can't base all those friendships just on one, So that didn't work out. It's fine. And there's probably other friendships that's going to not work out.
And that's also going to be fine.
Also okay. And I think that it taught me that it's life. And I have stopped. I'm like in my tracks. I'm stopped in my tracks. By Tracy. Her name is Tracy. It's Tracy. Tracy always calls me out because sometimes I want to be like, but I am amazing. She's like, amazing. Okay. We'll go with that. But it's true. Like because there were also like there's my blind spots where I felt maybe I was not supportive. Maybe there were some things I was doing that didn't sit well with my friend, and I thought that we had such a great friendship
that she would say
because I also asked my friend, what's happening? Just tell me so I can do better because I always want to do better, and that friendship really hurt me because I really loved the friendship we had, but clearly I think I was not playing my part, But it's also.
But I really think this is something that we've spoken about before, where we're like, why can't we say?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my point. Just say it. Like maybe sometimes it does come out a bit mean.
I don't know. I just think if you're done, then you're done. There's nothing to discuss.
Yes.
Then cool. You're not open to discussing anything with me. Then but if you're still open and you miss me or whatever, why couldn't we talk? Like, why couldn't you just say that, hey friend, this is what's happening, and it's not cool. Sometimes we take, as another friend of mine said, we take mental breaks from friends. Yes. Just like, I'll see you next year.
I do that.
I will see you next year.
And it's not a bad thing.
I'm tapped out of this energy. I'm done. I'll see you next year.
Okay, maybe I'm not going to close it because I want to get into that.
It's true.
Where you need to take mental breaks from friends, and it's a real thing. And it's not a bad thing. It's just it's for the best for the relationship. So you can save the relationship.
You're not done. You know that you are not done with this person.
Yes.
But at the current, they're really frustrating you. And when you are ready, and one day you're just having sundowners and you're chilling like, friend, last year you were just a bitch.
And I was just tired of it.
I was tired. And they'll probably see like, you know what, I was a bitch.
And that's really the beauty of real true friendships. It's fine. Because with you can do it with some family members who are really close. People do that. They take breaks and this is family.
Family, you don't see them for years. And then after you see like, whoo, 10 years ago I hated you.
Exactly.
Now I understand. Because the wheel turns. So it's
friendships are exactly that.
I agree.
So yes,
here's to friendship.
Here's to friendship. Yay! Oprah. Thank you so much for coming. Did you have a good time?
I did. I never knew that I could overshare like this. So much.
I'm just laughing because I'm happy that you're here. And just when we were walking up, you were like, oh, friend, I'm not. So I'm just like, this bitch.
I was like, I'm
she
not
lied to me.
going to speak. I told you, I will do these things if it's with my friends.
Yes.
My friends are celebrities. But I do not do them with strangers.
Well, thank you for coming on to Only the Brave.
Thank you to Only the Brave for creating this wonderful platform.
Yay! So guys, if you've enjoyed that, comment, like, share it with your friends. And subscribe, yes friend. Subscribe, watch this episode with your friends, do some inventory and, cultivate healthier relationships with your friends. So thank you so much. I will see you guys next time.